What's up, guys? It's OP Rob here, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my One Piece review of chapter 1011. Now, this chapter is called Ankle Standards, and from the scans, it says that ankle is actually means the okuruku soup or the red bean soup or stew that Big Mom really likes, that she was eating when she was in Wano. That apparently is her favorite and Queen's favorite. But anyway, before we move on, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. You know, I'm back doing One Piece videos again. I do tech videos too, and I also do gaming videos as well. So if you want to see more of those, please hit the like button and subscribe, and comment as well any ideas you have and any comments you have for the review. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Honestly, guys, this chapter was crazy. It's just so much going on, and I think it kind of falls in line with what I thought was going to happen, because my idea was, I think in my latest discussion with my friend Nico Ear, we spoke, and I think I remember saying that I believe that we were not going to be there wasn't going to be too much emphasis on the rooftop. The fight between Luffy and Kaido is going to be more, probably going out to Kid and Big Mom and then other people. So I think that was the best way for Oda to do that, because at the moment, even at the moment, it doesn't really seem like Kid is really gonna fight Big Mom. I think Kid's it kind of, from my standpoint, kind of looks like Kid is more going to sort of stop Big Mom from maybe doing anything crazy in terms of going back up to the rooftop and trying to cause any damage. But obviously, with what has happened in this chapter, it clearly looks like Big Mom may have other ideas of what she really wants to do, which is good, and I'll get onto that. But anyway, so we start off with Kid and Killer actually still looking at the clouds and seeing it kind of break up and the lightning and stuff like that. Now, Kid says, I think the Killer says, let's scram, let's leave because it's looking a bit crazy. And at this point, Kid believes, sort of believes that it's Zeus, because he thinks, he trapped him. But it seems like no, Big Mom's actually created a new homie, and this seems like legit looks like a more powerful homie, because as Kid said, what the hell, didn't really deal with that lightning. And it seems like this homie is called Hera, and Hera, if I'm not going crazy, may be the wife of Zeus in Greek mythology. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Hera is the wife of Zeus, or either that or the daughter. But I think it's Hera. Hera is actually the wife of Zeus, actually. Yes, she is. And it's crazy because Zeus and Hera. So it's either Hera is just as powerful as Zeus and supposed to be a replacement, or maybe more powerful. But the thing is, I think maybe we probably haven't actually seen Zeus's true power possibly yet, because Zeus seems kind of more laid back than Prometheus. I think Zeus maybe actually have more power, because Prometheus's power is more sort of fire, whereas Zeus has lightning and thunder and that sort of thing. So I think there's more to explore on Zeus' side, and I think we'll probably get more of that from Nami utilizing Zeus more. And essentially, this is where the story is going, because obviously we see that Zeus actually comes out of the electromagnetic box he was in and escapes, and obviously he's looking for Big Mom as well. So it'll be interesting to see actually how he sort of goes down, and is it a situation where Zeus might see that, Mama has replaced me, so I'm now sad and lonely, let me go back to Nami. How would Nami take that? I think Nami will probably accept him. I'm definitely pretty much excited to see what this hero can do, if her power is just like Zeus, or she can do crazy stuff, because maybe what she can do is what Zeus should be doing. And we haven't seen, we've seen that Zeus can be powerful, and I personally, as I said before, think he is more powerful than Prometheus. But I think Zeus is pretty much, he as a homie, he's a very laid back. He probably has he might have just have the softer side of Big Mom. It looks like he has, and as this chapter kind of tells us, that she obviously has so many different parts of her. We'll get to that. So now Zeus escapes, and obviously he's looking for Mama. He can't find her. At this point, Law and Luffy, Law and Zoro actually, are obviously still injured, and Law decides that it's probably best to move them out of the way right now, because obviously I think that when Law moves them, maybe they'll run into Hiyori or whoever saved the scabbards in terms of treating their wounds, and just someone to help them out to recover in time, because there's big moments for these guys coming up, because maybe Law and Zoro will come back to the rooftop. Maybe the fight doesn't finish on the rooftop, in terms of Luffy and Kaido. Maybe once Onigashima lands on Wano, if it does, the fight may not be on the rooftop, it may be on the ground. So in the end, maybe everyone else will be on the same ground, but I think it kind of makes it more sense for them to be on the rooftop and everyone else being wherever they are. So Law and Zoro obviously going down, and we're going to see how they get along. We're going to see how obviously Law and Zoro develop, and who their matchups are going to be, unless or if they do come back up. But then the craziest one of the crazy parts of this chapter was Kaido, being obviously realizing that Luffy, I think as the fight goes on, Kaido's going to realize that Luffy he's a bit of a crazy character, and he's going to remind him not just of Oden, but definitely of Roger, definitely, probably, maybe even of Rocks, because as crazy as they made it seem like Rocks was, there's every likelihood that Luffy is also very, very similar to Rocks. And Rocks' intention was crazy, but he may not have been a bad person, but it's possible that he just hated the world government so much, and the celestial dragons, that he thought it was in his own right to take over. But obviously he's an extremist. But what I'm trying to say is that Luffy's personality and the way he is, obviously Kaido, I think as we go along, it's gonna might bring a lot of similarities with Rocks and people that obviously Kaido has encountered with. And I don't really necessarily mean Shanks and such, but I think probably more higher tier people, like maybe Whitebeard, Roger, and Rocks as well. But Kaido obviously says that Luffy enjoys fighting, even when there's a lot at stake, basically, that he still has a smile on his face when the fight is near death. And obviously it's an incredible tribute to Luffy, because this is how he is. He's a D, and this is always how he's going to be. The only D that always shows fear and is always cautious, whereas most Ds are not cautious. Law is quite cautious in terms of what. But when I mean caution, I mean someone who's fearful and doesn't want to take a risk. Is Blackbeard, who is he shows fear. You can see, if you look in the old chapters of Teach, most of the times he has shown a lot of fear in certain situations, and you can tell that against Shanks he said that we weren't ready. Even when Whitebeard attacked him, you could see the fear in his face. So Teach is a bit of an interesting D to have, and obviously we'll explore his character later on as the story progresses. But for now, Luffy is displaying stuff that we already kind of know already. Obviously Kaido doesn't know, but it's good homage to Luffy, and I really like that scene. But so we actually go on to the two of them actually clashing, and not touching still. And the crazy thing is that I'm wondering if the clash they had sort of was a Conqueror's Haki clash as well, because in the panel it doesn't look as big as it should be if it is, because I'm kind of expecting Luffy and Kaido's clash, Conqueror's Haki clash, if they did, when they do have a Conqueror's Haki clash, I actually expect it to be bigger than Big Mom's and Kaido's, because I think Luffy has a stronger will than both of them, in my opinion. I honestly do think his will is stronger than theirs, and I don't think it matters if you're Yonko or not. I think if someone has a stronger will than you, then that is just the way it is, regardless of who you are. If you're a Yonko, but yes, if Luffy's will is stronger than Big Mom's and Kaido's, it does not matter how strong they are or how long they've been in the game, regardless, because his will is stronger than you. So what are you saying? Do you get what I'm saying? But anyway, so we go through that. They have the clash, and I think that is what we needed, and now we can move on to the other side, which we do. Now we see that Kid and Killer have been blown away to one of the castles, and I think it's the second or third floor, and they're not too far from Big Mom, but then obviously they're trying to go after her, and then they have Kaido's subordinates actually following them, and crazy enough, Hawkins comes in as well. And what is he doing here? I mean, we have not seen this guy, and I'm guessing this fight between the perceived fight between the Killer and Hawkins is probably the matchup that Hawkins was always going to have, because he's not a Toby Ropo, or on that level. And I've always wondered. I think recently I was thinking to myself that Hawkins is not a Toby Ropo. That means he's not. He's not really a strong pirate, and even as I put, he's not really a respected strong pirate. So you can kind of understand his situation. But anyway, obviously he wants Kid to. He wants to fight Kid, which he was never going to win because it's not going to happen. But obviously, Killer gives way for Kid to pass, basically, and Killer obviously is going to fight Hawkins. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup. But I think what I really liked about this bit was the dialogue between the two, where Hawkins is sort of describing, Killer's chances of surviving in this war. 93%, I think he said it was, or 92%, and Killer said, "Nah, we're not. Wait, slow down, G. Hold on, bruv. Nah. 92% is what. Okay, you're telling me, yeah, whatever your name is, Hawkins, right? You're saying me, Killer, that my chances of surviving is 92%. No. Those cards you're reading, I don't play them cards, fam. I do not deal with your cards, G. I'm from the Kid Pirates, fam. My generation, we don't do cards. We don't do 92%, bro. We make our own rules. You get me? We do what we want to do, fam. This is what Killer is telling Hawkins. Hawkins is not hearing it. He don't want to hear that. He don't want to hear that. Oh yeah, this guy makes me. He's talking about. Oh yeah, you can only survive based on luck. Killer said, nah. We do what we do, fam. You know what I'm saying? And I love that from Killer. Honestly, I do, because it shows the similarities between Killer and Kid's crew and also Luffy's crew, because that is exactly something I would expect Luffy to say, or even Zoro or Sanji, or even any of the Straw Hats to say, that we make our own luck. You know what I'm saying? We will, if you don't fight yourself to change the odds, then forget about it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're waiting for luck to happen. You gotta make your own luck, and I love that from Killer. So that is a good matchup that I believe, if Oda does it, demonstrate it well and shows us the fight, I think that'll be really enjoyable fight. Now finally, we get to see page 1 chasing Usopp and Usopp, Nami and Tama on Komachiyo while he's running away. And obviously it's pretty interesting that Tama says that they need to get to a certain part where she's going to obviously be able to control the beast pirates that have eaten her Kibidango. And obviously page 1 is trying to chase them, and Usopp obviously tries to do what he needs to do, but throwing attacks here and there. And one attack actually does kind of have an effect, but not for too long. And crazy enough, they actually run into Big Mom, who at this point obviously is interested to see where the story is going with this. But I think what Oda doing here is very smart and interesting, because instead of Oda putting her back into an amnesia from maybe, let's say, Kid punched her and then she goes into amnesia all the time, what he's done here is something that I'd never thought about, which is Big Mom still being able to remember even though she's her normal self. I didn't realize that she would still be able to remember Tama, and I thought she would only remember Tama in the good times when they were in amnesia. But obviously Prometheus actually says that Big Mom is a certain way with her motherly side, comes along with kids that are younger than 10 years old from the scans. We'll wait till the official before we can dive deep into that. Now, one thing I did mention recently in one of my videos is that Prometheus seems to know a lot about Big Mom and how she works, and when is the right time for him to move in, and he knows her character, which is why he knew that was the right time to ask her for a favor, and I think that is what it is with Big Mom, and it's an avenue that I definitely believe that Oda can go into in exploring her character. But now obviously when she's heard from Tama, because obviously she remembers Tama and the good times, and Tama tells her about what Kaido's subordinates have done and how they took the food, the Oshiruku, and now obviously Big Mom wants to smoke, and she says, what, Kaido's people, this is what they've done. Okay, this is what they know. All right, let's go. Which crazy turnaround that she's done, that this is where Oda's going with this, because now when she launches the attack on page 1, I do not know if he's going to get up, because OT and page 1 at this point have a problem. And I don't know where Oda is going with this, because I actually thought that page 1 and OT would fight Nami and Usopp single-handedly. So I'm actually not too sure where Oda is going with this. I don't think page 1 is down for good, because he's such a resilient, the Zoans are very resilient, so I don't necessarily think he's down for good. But obviously OTs are also around the corner, and it looks like they're in trouble, but I just don't, it's very difficult to be able to tell where Big Mom is Oda's going to go with Big Mom. But nevertheless, very interesting prospect coming up soon. But effectively, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, guys, that is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will bring you more videos about this when the official comes out and I read it and know exactly what some of the discrepancies are. But anyway, it is what it is, guys, man. So the boy OP Rob, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your thoughts on this video, put your thoughts in the comments below on what you thought about this chapter.